Inside our New York studios, Brent Stover with Brian Jones, Randy Cross, and our resident Notre Dame legend, Aaron Taylor. You know we're setting it up, right? Whenever I butter you up.
Right out the gate.
He might have a problem with what we're about to show you. Here's a look at the college football playoff bracket, which includes many deserving teams, but there is one team who many thought would be in the field at 12, and they are not. AT, we're just going to give you the floor. What's going through your mind after 2 days of reflection? We know you met with your therapist yesterday. Yeah. Have you accepted the committee's decision to leave the Irish on the outside looking in?
Bleepity bleep 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 bleepity bleep 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 bleepity bleep.
Yep.
That's full stop. It's comically tragic and how contradictory the decision-making of the College Football Playoff Committee has been, because nothing hurts more than expecting logic from a system that doesn't use any. And I think the point here for me is to zoom out. We got wronged, but there would have been all wrong answers. Somebody would have got screwed in this deal based on previous precedent, and that's the problem. This is a systemic issue. And you have to come out far enough back to go back to why the College Football Playoff was created in the first place. It wasn't about fairness and equity in finding the best football teams to determine the national championship. It was about power and control and media rights and reach. Everything else gets reverse engineered to back into the decision that they want. And the fact that Notre Dame got left out did a couple very important things. It preserved the SEC championship game, which people aren't ready to get rid of yet. It certainly delivered on the threats that Greg Sankey and Golem made last year about the SEC not being able to go. That's Paul Feinbaum, for those that aren't following along. And it also is about making sure that these non-conference matchups get preserved. Miami, Notre Dame. Miami plays a big team. They beat them. They didn't want to set that precedent and punish. But it's like trying to build this big house that you want. You keep adding on these rooms and additions, but there's no master plan, so it ends up being fragmented. So yeah, Notre Dame got the short end of the stick, but it would have been somebody else, and it's somebody every year. Florida State, 13-0, lose their quarterback. They don't go. Penn State beats Ohio State, I think it was in 17. They get left out. The Buckeyes go, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm with you. Beepity beep, the beep, the beep, 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 and mo beep, 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 beep. It's just dumb as. That's what it is. It's nonsensical, and you have all these precedents that you then trample the next year after you set them and said, this is what we're going to follow, and yet none of it rings true. The hypocrisy is just astonishing and through the roof, and I'm not surprised one iota. No one should be. It occurs each and every season. Someone gets hosed, and I was expecting it again, and it happened. Of course, my Longhorns were trying to get in and campaigning and all that. In my opinion, it was a bad look, especially threatening to not play, tough out-of-conference competition. That's not the way to go. And in Texas, you don't duck anyone. But Notre Dame, if they can get slighted, that brand, as huge as it is, as marketable as it is, and as much power as it wields, they can get hosed and slighted. No one's safe in this thing. But you sit here and you ding BYU, and they lose in a conference championship game. And yet a team that similarly obliterated by their competition in their conference championship game, they don't move. You don't budge them one iota. That makes no sense in any type of
It's the exception to the rule. I believe unprecedented. Everybody else moves down. Everybody else stays the same or moves up if you don't play and move on. Randy, I'll let you jump in here because I still got a lot to say. Either this thing's designed to set up to determine who the best team in the country is, or it's not. You can argue whether or not Notre Dame fit the system and they should be in versus Miami. The reality is both Miami and Notre Dame should have been in. Those are two of the 12 best teams that deserve a right. Notre Dame's probably a top 5 team, yet they're not getting a chance to play. And with all due respect to Tulane and James Madison, okay, thank you. Noted.
Bump your brakes.
Neither of those teams have a shot to win this thing. Now, they could shock the world. We have seen upsets. But when you look at the first-round games, going back to last year, the first year of the 12-team playoff, the average margin of victory was 19 points. They were blowouts. So getting better teams in, keeping it 12, making it more competitive, to me, is a better product, more compelling television. And it's not to do that, we'd have to change the system. That's the whole point here, is that we're trying to reverse engineer and back into what makes sense because the whole thing is wrong. We've got to start over. If we either got to be the NFL or the WWE, not both. And right now we're this hybrid thing where we're trying to be legit and professional or entertainment. Pick your lane and stay in it because this is ridiculous.
All right, folks, that's all of our time. Randy, we don't have it. Go ahead.
What are we going to do with bowl games? What are we going to do with the championship games? Are they important or are they not important? If you want to have a championship game, there should be a reward for winning your championship game, not a penalty for it. And there should be definitely a penalty for getting your butt kicked in a championship
Can't
game.
have it both ways.
Very, very, very simple kind of an idea. I don't know what they were thinking. I do know what I think they were thinking, and they were thinking what they were told to think. And that's how that all worked out, and that's why we have the 12 teams that we have, and that's fine. That's the system we have. The good thing about that is the system we have is not the system we're going to have in a couple months because there'll be a new one. And that one will be screwed up too because they're not going to get it right the next time either.
Yeah, well, don't tell me you care about meritocracy when you don't count when a team loses, gets completely dominated in a conference championship game. Well, a conference championship game can benefit you and be advantageous, but yet if you lose it, we don't want it to count. That's some bull, dude.
But their body of work.
Yeah. That's part of your body of work.
Their body of work was in a heap on the ground in the Dome in Atlanta Saturday night.
Right.
Yeah, they're a team that Alabama's a team that's going the wrong way. They're not peaking at the right time. They're falling off a cliff.
You watch, though. They're going to make a run here just to make everybody look like it.
They better make better second half adjustments than they did the 2 times they got curb stomped.
Yep.
Unlike Notre Dame, I just wanted one more. I needed one more out of it. Unlike Notre Dame, Alabama remained in the CFP bracket in spite of a decisive loss in the SEC Championship to Georgia.
So
we've documented that. Randy, should the committee have penalized the Crimson Tide, who are the who are the only 3-loss team in the field?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's indefensible, the fact that they are in this playoff. It's ridiculous. I understand their brand. I understand the SEC from top to bottom is the best conference in America. Great. God bless you. But that should not get you squat after you get your butt kicked by 3 touchdowns by a team that beat you earlier in the year.
And you're not even dinged in their rankings. You don't move.
No.
You don't move after.
At all.
They say you're resilient when you win a close one versus your rival Auburn. You stay there in the 9 hole.
Yeah.
You get just embarrassed.
So
minus 3 yards rushing.
Ohio State should have stayed number 1.
Right. By their logic.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to make. So going back to my earlier statement, does the conference championship matter or does it not matter? All this spinning and trying to change the narrative and, you penalize a team for getting to their conference championship. Well, you know what? Don't go. Forfeit the damn game. You got teams that are dropping out of these bowl games. How about you drop out of the opportunity to play for a conference championship because you're afraid if you don't win the damn thing, it's going to penalize you. It's supposed to penalize you. We don't play for participation. We play to win.
And in 1 year, we have gone from worrying about players opting out of bowl games to schools opting out of bowl games. That's not a good sign.
K-State and Iowa State both. Skip getting fined $500K each by the Big Ten. Obviously Notre Dame, they're so ticked off. They're not.
Different circumstances there. 2 of those schools from the Big 12 lose their head coaches. Notre Dame, I think, rightfully saying, hey, we don't want to be a part of this system. And I think really, as I zoom out again, I think what the energy and emotion is about is it reminds me of taxation without representation, right? You go to the ballot box, you drop your ballot in, you think your vote counts, but really it's like driving those cars at the amusement park. You think you're driving it, but they're on the track that you want to go. Yeah. Greg Sankey last year threatened the College Football Playoff Committee for a 3-loss Alabama team get left out. Yeah. Paul Feinbaum was very vocal about what would happen. There would be serious ramifications if that happened, and here we are. A 3-loss Alabama team gets put in under very questionable situations. So either you are a system that's designed to elicit the best teams to compete for the national championship, or you're not. You're either a meritocracy or you're not. And
Thank
that's
you.
the problem.
They've
here.
answered that.
They've answered it.
Yep.
And I think the hood is up. You look behind the curtain, it's a little dude hitting the things.
Yeah.
Pick the lane that you want to be in. Either it's legit or it's not. It's entertainment. We get it. But what are we doing?
But Notre Dame's made their deal for next year. If they're in the top 12, they're automatically included.
That's
that
ridiculous.
MOU got signed, and that's great. But there's a press
That is
conference.
not great.
It's not great.
That is stupid.
That is part of the problem.
Let me say, if you're an Irish fan, it's great. I predict, this is what I predict, that this is the first domino to fall and creates an even bigger fissure for the inevitable break-off that's coming. Notre Dame, unfortunately, is going to be a gut punch to an already fragile bowl system. We are in the midst of a tectonic shift in our sport. And while we're all arguing about who deserves to be here, where, there, and everywhere else, there's all this other thing that's going over here that nobody's paying attention to.
You mean
and we need our leaders to lead. Lead us!
The Nifty 50?
The Nifty
top
50,
the
yes.
top 50 team?
They're going to break off and do their old thing.
Good?
And another thing.